What's up, people? In this video, we're going to do something that hopefully is like a little bit more sane and normal than all this fucking eating disorder shit I've been doing fucking all morning. OMAD Revolution. It's a channel run by a man, so hopefully there'll be some sanity here. Yeah, somebody said to look at this or something. God, I just did like 3 of these like eating disorder girl videos in a row, and I'm like, I'm so tilted right now. Like, where's the, please, sanity somewhere, some sanity. The 1 meal a day eating plan, a timeline of changes. OMAD do's and don'ts. 1 big meal a day, no blood sugar spike. I guess we'll do this one, eating plan. Yeah, hopefully this will, this is good.
This video is a timeline of changes on the 1 meal a day eating plan that I spoke of in my other video, How to Eat Once a Day, Basics. So if you haven't seen that video, you probably want to stop this and watch that one first. It introduces the basics of eating once a day to lose weight, to reclaim your health, and so forth and so on. This is a breakdown of what you can expect for your body and your mind, the changes and how it's going to impact you. It is very important to realize that 1 meal a day it doesn't have a big adjustment period, and it is not the easiest way to go. But of course, the big aspect of that is that's how you know it's legit. You know it's legit because it requires sacrifice. But I would not have been able to go from 363 pounds all the way to 185, 190 pounds had I not been willing to put in sacrifice. But ultimately, it's about knowledge. It's not about willpower. It's just about going in, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and having proper perspective on what to do. And so this video breaks down what you can expect. Phase 1 is the 4 to 7 day break-in period. This is the hardest phase because if you're used to binging, if you're used to overeating, regardless of how, you're going to have to readjust your body. It's the hardest phase because the fact of the matter is you are going to be hungry. You're going to be hungry.
Sorry, you guys can't see this, but I'll just move my overlay.
For those first 4 to 7 days, you're going to experience lightheadedness. You're going to experience brain fog. You're going to experience the runs.
So to be fair, my like break-in phase was fucking like 2002. So I don't know. I think this is like a little dramatic, a little extreme. But he does say up in the upper left, the more out of shape you are, the more difficult the break-in phase will be. That seems plausible, I guess. Extreme hunger, okay. Lightheadedness, I don't know. Brain fog, the runs, the shakes, gallbladder pains. I don't know. I honestly, I can't comment. Like, I've never been like that. I never had anything like this. So like, even when I transitioned back then, but like back then I was fucking fit and I was like going to the gym all the time, and like I just stopped eating fucking breakfast and lunch. So I don't know. I guess for fat people. Anyway, good for him. Like, again, like I guess people want to know this thing, this stuff, but like just do it. You need to watch this video. Like, just eat 1 meal a day.
Looking back, I was glad I was off. I was laid off when I started OMAD because your body reacts crazy when you are readjusting your eating plans. The shakes from getting low blood sugar. And then, of course, if you were like me and you were a big grease eater, part of my binging would lead me to crazy amounts of fast food and sugars. You're going to get gallbladder pains because your body is in crisis. Now, there's simply no way to strike it. But as I have to be honest, it does require sacrifice. But this is your difficult period. What you have to remember is it is not permanent. You will get past it. Your body will adjust. And, of course, that brings us to phase 2, which is the 7 to 15 day adaptation period, I'm supposed to say. This period is marked by you not feeling as hungry. Your mind and your body kind of come to a point where they agree. They start to not be so shocked. Whereas in the first phase, you're going crazy saying, God, this is miserable. Now you're adapting. This phase is marked with a big step in the mental clarity department where your mind begins to accept your changes. But the best thing about this wonderful phase is that your blood sugar is low. And of course, of all the positive feedback I get on 1 meal a day, some of the best emails come to me and they say, thank you, Joe, for showing me this because now I'm not thinking about food all the time. Now my blood sugars are leveled out and I'm not getting the shakes. I'm not having to tank up on these little meals that these other diet people are advocating. And so the big, huge aspect.
So I just want to stop it there and kind of touch on one of the points that he made. Why do I like OMAD? Because, like he said, I don't fucking have to think about food ever, like at all. Like, I think about food probably like for like 5 minutes a day, if that, right? And it's literally like the 5 minutes before I decide to eat. Basically, like when I get like super hungry and it starts to get to be around like 6 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty hungry. I want to eat. What should I eat? Okay, I'm gonna eat. Where can I get some meat? that's it. That's the like extent of my thoughts about food throughout the day. Like, I guess I think about food because I watch these videos, but like honestly, like none of this shit looks I mean, this looks gross in general. Like, what the fuck, dog? Like, really? Like, wilted lettuce and like half plate of rice. What is that? Like a rib drowned in barbecue sauce? Like, I don't know. Maybe this is like ironic or something. But it, that's again, this is one of the reasons why I recommend OMAD for girls who are trying to recover from an eating disorder. Like, and again, the thing with OMAD, you eat once a day, but you don't restrict yourself, is the point. You eat once a day, and when you choose the right foods, you don't need to count calories, you don't need to count macros, you eat as much as you want, right? And again, like I said, this is another reason why I like OMAD, because I don't have to fucking think about it. I don't have to think like, okay, how many calories does this have? How much fat does this have? How much fucking protein? Like, who cares? Like, I don't want to live like that, where I need to fucking like calculate this shit. Like, keep it simple. You get a little fat, you put on a little weight, fucking work out harder, right? You're getting a little skinny, eat a little bit more. Like, why do people make it so difficult?
That is that right there is enough. Phase 3, the 15 to 30 day adaptation period. Now, at this point, you can really go a little bit further because you learn to be functionally not full. Remember, when you're out of control eating, your body has to be full. You have to keep filling up and gorging. Well, here you learn to be functionally not full. You learn to adapt to being a little bit hungry, and you learn to be productive. And then mental calmness and acceptance of not having food. So you accept the fact that you're going to be hungry sometimes, and you stop vilifying, like so many diet gurus do, the idea of being hungry. You're sometimes going to be hungry, but there's a difference between hungry and starving. And at this point, you start to get your energy back on a much bigger scale. Your body switches over to eating what is on your body instead of what is in your body. So when you eat your one meal a day, you use that to live. Your body's adjusting to burning the fat that is all over your body. Of course, all of us have those layers that are all over our body. Hopefully, not too many. But the best part of this is the close, where you say to yourself, I know I can keep doing this. Whereas prior to that, you were struggling. But at the end of this phase, you say, I know I can keep doing this. I know I can keep going. And folks, there is something to be said of all things for stability. It doesn't matter how good your weight loss plan is, whatever it is, if it's something you cannot sustain. And so the biggest and most powerful thing
God, I think those eating disorder videos just like really pissed me off. Because this is all like good advice for beginners. Like for beginners, this is good, I guess. Like he's like easing people into it. I don't remember much of a transition period. Maybe I was like a little bit testy when I first started doing OMAD, but I was also like fucking like 19 and like just angsty in general back then. So like, yeah, and also I guess one thing that I'll mention when I do OMAD, this reminds me of a quote that I heard, random thought, but like a quote about musicians, right? It was one musician who was talking about like going to music or studying music in college, and he was like, you spend 4 years of your life learning all the rules, and then you spend the rest of your life learning to forget them, right? And I guess the idea is like you learn all the rules, you learn the basics, you learn the fundamentals in the beginning, so you learn how to do it quote unquote properly. But where the art comes in is where you learn how to strategically break the rules to get a better result. Because all of these rules are in place for people to get like a very basic understanding who have no experience, right? So anyway, why do I even bring that up? Like, the reason I thought of it is because I mentioned this before, but like I take fucking pills. I take nootropics, like stuff that will like change the way you think, right? Technically during the day you shouldn't do that, right? That's technically food. I also have lately, it's pretty bad, honestly. Like ever since I went to Vietnam last year, like I started having like 4 cups of coffee a day, like 3 to 4. It's pretty bad. Like I used to be so disciplined with like my 1 cup of coffee, right? I'd have 1 cup in the morning to like wake me up, and then that was it. I was done. But like coffee in Vietnam is so cheap, like 20,000 dong. What is that? Like it's like $1 for like a fucking like big, like really good cup of coffee, right? So I was like, fuck man, I'm like doing all this work online. They have this really good coffee here. I was like, okay, fuck it. Like I'll just go have another one, And I was working a lot in cafes too at the time. That's also what it was. I was like spending a lot of time on my digital marketing channel, and I needed to like record a lot of videos living in hostels. Can't really do that in a hostel. So I'd like go to a cafe, fucking put my headset on like I am now and record like digital marketing videos. And of course you're at a cafe, you're going to order coffee, right? You feel like on some level guilty that you're just sitting there fucking like taking up a spot at their cafe and not ordering something. So if I was there for 3 hours, I'd order a coffee, right? Sometimes I'd go twice a day, I get 2 coffees. Anyway, that said, I've learned as a result of my experience with OMAD how to work in the coffee in a way that is what I believe either to be beneficial to me or to at least minimize the quote unquote damage that it's doing to me. For example, in the morning, have my first cup of coffee. This is a super long example, totally pointless, but like I'm gonna give it anyway. First cup of coffee, wake up in the morning, first cup of coffee, not to like get too graphic, but like the purpose of that, number one, is to like wake up and start the day, and also helps to like, you know, speed up the evacuation process, right? Second cup of coffee is to be able to crank out fucking 4 to 5 videos on YouTube without like sounding like a retard. Okay. Third cup of coffee, if I have it, sometimes I have 3, sometimes I have 4. Third cup might either be for like the second round of videos that I do, and the fourth will be for my workout, right? So like I'll have that cup before I work out so that I know that I'm gonna have like 3 hours of fucking energy that I can go crush a run and go crush a workout without like dragging my feet. So honestly, like at this point, it's probably not good that I've like built it up to so many cups. But like, you know, whatever. I've got enough experience, fucking I can absorb it without it really being a problem. Or am I just like rationalizing? I don't know. Let's just move on.
You can ever do is to realize that what you're doing is sustainable and manageable. Can't say enough for that. You'll start to get your energy back. You'll feel good. You will have a mental calm and acceptance, and you'll be fully functional. That's the beginning. Not to mention all the weight you've started to notice you're losing, which at this point will finish out your plateaus. You'll start to see them come to an end. Now, phase 4 is the 60-day mark. You get yet more energy and more enthusiasm, and you experience what's called hunger high. Now, hunger high is where the mental clarity that you've been experiencing before begins to sharpen, and you get a sage-like or monk-like clarity that stays with you. Now, I've said before, every major culture in the world has sages and gurus that fast, and the reason for that is because fasting does something to the mind, and every culture in the world does it because it provides clarity. Having too much is destructive. It's Epicurean. The Stoics, that's the way to go. There's a saying that every society is born Stoic and dies Epicurean, and I don't have to break that down right now, but it's an interesting philosophy. Societies die from too much, from excess, but societies are born hungry. They have a focus, a clarity. But by now, in this point in the phase, you've broken past your plateaus. You are now losing weight more steadily, and best yet, you're back in touch with your instincts. You now know the proper role for food, and you're not constantly thinking about it. Now, phase number 5 is the 90-day mark.
So maybe I'm just like super hardcore, but I don't consider OMAD to be fasting. That's not fasting. That's eating 1 meal a day. That's not fast, dog. And okay, fine. I understand he's appealing to people who like eat as much as they want whenever they want and have obviously like shit values when it comes to food. But more energy and enthusiasm, yes. Hunger high, I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to it now I don't really notice. Or maybe I'm just like so like amped up on all these fucking like pills and powders and coffee that I don't notice it from the food. Although I will notice the contrast, I will say that, where if I eat, say breakfast or something, I'll just like drag my feet throughout the day, which is why I recommend to eat dinner when you do OMAD, even though, you know, I know Snake Diet Guy says breakfast, and like, I guess technically that's the quote unquote better way to do it because it implies more discipline. Because when you eat breakfast, it's harder to not snack throughout the day. Whereas if you don't eat anything until night, you eat your big meal and you go to bed. You don't have the opportunity to snack. Which, again, like I said, why I recommend it for fucking eating disorder girls. Back in touch with your instinct, I don't know, dog. Really, like, maybe. I think I'm in touch with my instincts, but I think I've always been in touch with them. Is it because of OMAD? No, I don't think so.
At this point, you embrace the role as a socially complex eater. What do I mean by that? A socially complex eater is someone who can basically own the room.
What is this, dog? This is what? Like fucking fish sticks? And a fucking now we're up to like 3/4 of a plate of rice and sweet chili sauce? I mean, again, I guess it just goes to show the power of OMAD. You could fucking eat shit like this. Like, why is he showing this picture? I don't get it. Anyway, but to the point, you can eat shit like this and not like really gain any weight just because you're fucking fasting. Well, you're not eating for 20 something hours, right? You embrace the role as a socially complex eater. You quote unquote play with your food and become more choosy. I'm not sure what he means by that. Weight loss progress speeds up, but consistently so.
Wherever they're eating. So in other words, if their friends are eating, then they'll take it's not their mealtime, they'll take the opportunity to just go right around and enjoy socializing. They'll play with their food. They'll become a little bit more choosy, and they'll start adding in healthier foods and cutting back on things that are not healthy. Whereas at first, they really didn't care. They just eat whatever in a limited portion. But as I've said before, the longer you do 1 meal a day, the more you kind of want to eat healthy, and you become more selective by nature because you're using your hunter instincts, you're getting them back. But your weight loss progress speeds up at this juncture, but it does so consistently. It's not just spurts like it was before.
Okay, so those are fair points. I guess I don't know. Play with your food. I'm not sure what that means. I guess it means like play as in like experiment with healthier food choices, I think is what he means. Become more choosy, definitely. And the reason for this, I've mentioned this before when I was on the warrior diet, which is essentially OMAD, but you're supposed to start with carbs, then protein, and then if you're still, I'm sorry, you start with vegetables, and then protein, and then if you're still hungry, you eat carbs. The reason for that is because if you do it any other way, you're gonna have an awful stomach ache and it's gonna fuck up your digestion, right? So you are naturally gonna gravitate towards healthier food choices just to avoid the pain. That's really what it is. And you also feel like shit if you haven't eaten all day and then you eat some fucking garbage. Like you're gonna feel bad, like actually feel bad. Embrace the role as a socially complex eater. I mean, I guess that's true, but I'm like at the point now where like if people are going to lunch, I mean, I prefer to not eat with them at lunch just because I know it's going to fuck up my day. But I will sometimes, if it's like maybe not a special occasion, but like, I won't just like go to lunch with them for no reason. So I guess he's right. Like, if people are just like going to lunch because that's just like what they do, you don't mind to go along with them and just like sit there while they eat or get a fucking glass of water or something. That is true. But again, like I said, certain situations, I don't mind to eat lunch or breakfast here and there. It's not that big a deal. Another bonus, I'm not sure if he'll go over this, but when you only eat one meal a day, your capacity to digest food is greatly increased because your body is used to digesting essentially 3 meals worth of food at once. So if you go and you eat smaller meals, you'll like, I don't know if you'll lose weight, but you might actually like lose a little weight for a few days, right? Just because your body's used to fucking digesting lots of food at once. Your metabolism is very high. So that's something worth considering as well.
Now, phase number 6 is the 4 to 6 month phase. By this phase, a lot of chemical changes have been happening in your body. You smell better, you run cooler, you're not as hot, your blood pressure and chemical levels can be seen to have gone down. You begin to inexplicably crave better foods and you want to eat healthier. I noticed when I switched over, after some time had gone by, I had been eating once a day, I started to crave strawberries. Well, the funny thing was I never craved healthy foods, much less strawberries. I hated anything green. But at the 6 month mark, I started to have weird combinations. I felt like a pregnant woman, weird taste for food. But ultimately, it led to me eating healthier. Also, at this point, you have no doubts of your ultimate success. You know you're going to make it, whatever your goal is. And of course, if you're doing this 6 months in a loss phase and you're losing a lot, you tend to rarely think about splurge days. And you have newer and older clothes that you want fitted, which is always good. Phase 7, which is the 8 months phase and beyond.
Yeah, I mean, smell better. Yeah, honestly, like fat people, you guys smell bad. Sorry, but like fat people smell bad, right? When you lose weight, like you're gonna smell better. Like, do people not know that? That's a thing. Run cooler. Yeah, I guess that's fair to say. Like fat people are always like sweating, so I guess you will be cooler. Inexplicably crave better foods and eat healthier. Yeah, I mean, is it really inexplicable? No. I mean, you probably crave better foods because that's like what, those are like the foods you should be eating. So is that like so hard to explain? Maybe, I don't know. You'll actually feel good when you eat those foods? Whatever, fine. You'll eat healthier foods is the point. You have no doubts of your ultimate success. Yeah, I would say if you're doing something for 4 to 6 months, like you're probably like on the right track. Tend to rarely think about splurge days. That's true. You just feel like you don't need it. Like you don't, like a splurge day. Like I rarely have a splurge day. Like, it's not because I don't enjoy eating unhealthy food. I mean, of course I do, right? Everybody does. But if I have let's say I have a day and like, instead of like, what's my day like now? Wake up, have a cup of coffee, do some videos, watch the videos to make sure like the sound is okay and I didn't like fuck them up somehow. Go work out, come back, eat, and go to bed, right? If I like wake up and I'm like, well, actually today I want to eat as much as I can of whatever I want, unhealthy food, I'm going to feel like shit. That's going to fuck up my day. Like that's like a punishment at this point. Like if you made me like fucking eat donuts and shit like all day, every day, I mean, maybe on some level, like I would enjoy the taste, but it's like I need to take like a day off from life in order to do that. And why? Why would I? I don't need that. There's no desire for that. I feel better overall. My life is better overall when I like eat healthy food and go work out and make these videos. So like, why would I like the value, the benefit of doing that is much higher than like some like momentary pleasure of like putting a fucking donut in my mouth and chewing it. Like how do you even compare, honestly? So he's right. newer or older, smaller fitting clothes. That's actually true, obviously, and interestingly enough, I travel a lot, and like I go like all these different places, and my workouts kind of change based on where I am. I mentioned this before. Right now, my workout is like running. I'll do like a 3.5 mile run workout, bodybuilding workout or gym, and then another 3.5 mile run back. As opposed to, let's say, for example, a powerlifting workout that I was doing in New York. Last time I was in Thailand, I was doing Muay Thai, right, which was like a was it like a 2 mile run or 2.5 mile run, and then a Muay Thai workout, and another 2.5 mile run. What was I doing in Japan? I was doing burpees and pull-ups and running, right? All of these things will like change your body and change your body composition. So, and the point is that like I've needed to get like a tailored piece of clothing, like an actual suit, not like legendary suit jamas, like fake suit, but like I needed to get a real suit like several times. But I don't want to get clothes that are tailored because my body changes so much. A little bit different than what he's saying, but he's right. You will lose weight.
Newer and older clothes, or older clothes that you want to fit into, which is always good. Phase 7, which is the 8 months phase and beyond. At this point, listen, the world is yours. You continue to see weight loss progress, your losses continue, but your zest for life and your self-improvement begin to take on new and expanded meaning. So at first you were just looking to get by. You were just looking to be functional. You were just looking to take down your waistline and maybe move around a little bit. But now you're starting to want to self-improve in other ways. You're starting to want to take care of your body better. You're starting to want to maybe, if you have to buy new clothes, to buy better, it's more expensive. Spend a little bit of money on yourself. One of the biggest changes to my life came at the 8-month mark, and I decided to buy a little bit better clothes, a little bit better blue jeans. And for the first time in a long time, I was able to buy slender fit jeans because my legs weren't so triangular and blocky like they always had been. I would have to buy, at my biggest, I had 54-inch waist, baggy fit jeans, and it was really awkward. And I had to readjust my whole paradigm because my body had changed, my breathing had changed, everything. It took so little energy to move. But to this day, when I go to put socks on, I still have the feeling that I'm too big until I reach down to actually do it and realize that I can very easily do it. Because so many years I would have to hoist myself up on the bed to get my socks on. It was so uncomfortable, just like getting up. It was very uncomfortable. But you're done looking back at this point. Your weight loss is very basic. You're ready to think ahead. You're beginning to think about maintenance and what lies ahead. And now it's kind of scary when you start to think about maintenance, which of course is the topic for another video. But once you begin to hit that 8-month mark, even if you have a whole lot to lose, your mind is still wondering what the future holds. You're not looking back. You're starting to really look forward. And of course, when you're looking forward, you know you've made a lot of progress because you don't even want to go back to old ways and old habits and self-destructive tendencies because you've seen how they end. You've seen how they end. You've seen that they destroy you. You've seen that you never come out on top when you follow those. So what do you want to do? You want to look ahead, and you're starting to say, what does my future hold for me in terms of my eating? I know I'm going to have to eat more. How am I going to do that? So that's another horizon altogether. And that's pretty much all there is to it. There's no point in going to any other phases because regardless of how much you have to lose, you're able to maintain and perfectly proceed ahead with that. And so the question is, have you gotten started on your 1 meal a day plan yet? If not, why not? And I want to stress that. But I also want to go back and stress what I stressed at the beginning. Anything legit will require sacrifice. And it's no different with 1 meal a day. It starts out difficult. It gets much easier. But as a result, it will give you the payback of having a stable body and stable mind. And it will be probably the first time in a long time where you will quit worrying about what you're going to eat and you will quit focusing on food. So if you're not on the OMAD plan, get going and...
Okay. This is good, I guess. He's in favor of OMAD. Okay, good. 7 phases of like OMAD transition. I get it. And again, like it's been years since I fucking started doing OMAD. Like I don't even like remember this shit at this point. Honestly, it's just like this is like normal for me. So it's possible there's 7 phases. I don't really know. But I want to talk about what he said about sacrifice because I think that is, I think that's like. I'm not sacrificing anything by doing this. If anything, this is like beneficial for me, right? Being healthy, taking steps to improve your health is not a sacrifice. That kind of like, I'm confused when I hear that, right? Like, why do you think that's a sacrifice? And I understand what he's saying is like, you're gonna have to give up fucking your donuts and McDonald's and shit like that, but like, those things are bad, right? That's stuff that's hurting you. Stuff that's like making your life worse. But I guess people don't see it that way. They just think it's good. But like I said, personally, if you like forced me to fucking eat, like let's say you forced me to do like a 10,000 calorie challenge every day for a week. Oh my God, I would like, that's like punishment. It's like my prison sentence or something. That's not good. Yeah, actually, you know what this reminds me of? When I was living in LA the last time, not the best period of my life, and I was basically my day was like wake up, drive for Uber, go do yoga, drive for Uber again, and then come back, eat, and then basically play video games till I went to bed. I was playing like, and on days where I wouldn't drive and I wouldn't do yoga, I basically just fucking play video games all day. And I played a game called Dota, right? It's like, whatever, old school game. It's very fun. It's an amazing game, very complex, like very engaging. And I was playing, like the way that it works, I'm not sure if this is like all video games, but at least with Dota is like, you sit down to play your first game and you're like, fuck yeah, I can't fucking wait to play this game. And then, you know, a couple hours later, after you've played a lot, you're just like, you're so drained and you're so burnt out and you just like feel like shit. You're like, ugh, God, I fucking feel like you, almost like you binged, I guess, on food. So like it wasn't overall like this magical positive experience where I was like enjoying myself all the time and like I was like, oh, this is like enriching my life in so many ways. I'm not saying it was all negative, but I remember when I finally made the decision to leave and go back to Australia, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, wow, like, you know, this means I can't play Dota anymore. You know, I was like, fuck, man, like, I know Australia's probably going to be pretty good, but I'm not going to be able to play fucking Dota every night for 6 hours. And I was sad about that, even though I knew that like it wasn't good. So like, okay, I guess I can relate. Anyway, that's it. You guys have any more suggestions for videos or YouTubers you want me to take a look at? Let me know. Also, I'm now like plugging my channel and asking that you guys share these videos. Like liking, comment, subscribing, that's all great. But the real benefit for me at least is when the videos are shared on like, you know, with people who don't know about me or these videos. So if you could do that, that would be super awesome. Yeah, peace.